The 2017 revised organizational structure of Eastern Visayas State University. The Board of Regents. Chairman. Commission on Higher Education. Chairperson and Presiding Officer, Honorable J. Prospero E. de Vera III. University President, Vice Chairperson, Honorable Dennis C. De Paz. Chairperson, Committee on Education, Arts and Culture, Senate of Philippines, Honorable Emmanuel Joel Villanueva. Represented by Honorable Eric N. Aseo. Chairperson, Committee on Higher and Technical Education, House of Representatives, Honorable Mark O. Go. Represented by Honorable Dennis Aran P. Abrel. Regional Director, Department of Science and Technology RO8, Honorable Ernesto M. Granada. Regional Director, National Economic Development Authority RO8, Honorable Bonifacio G. Uy. President, Federation of EVSU Alumni Associations, Honorable Daniel A. Ariaso Sr. President, Federation of EVSU Faculty Associations, Honorable Cleofe T. Caidic. President, Federation of Student Government, Honorable Carissa Newell Finn P. Fernandez. University or BOR Secretary, Dr. Annalyn C. Españo. The Office of the University President. Our very own University President, Dr. Dennis C. De Paz. Our University or Board Secretary, Dr. Gerald Jason B. Balanga. Our Executive Assistant to the University President, Ms. Mary Grace H. Aruta. Our Technical Staff to the University President, Mr. Rex B. Palumpon. Our Director, Institutional Planning and Development Office, Professor Christopher C. Bakungan. Our Head Planning Office, Dr. Erwin Oscar P. Ripalda. Our Head Physical Plant and Infrastructure Development Office, Architect Romel V. Hidalgo. Our Head Project Monitoring, Evaluation and Assessment Office, Engineer Milan Almar D. Esterninos. Our Director, University Quality Assurance and Accreditation Center, Concurrent Director, Internal Management Audit Services, Professor Renato E. Martija. Our Head Quality Management System, Engineer Rocky A. Costiniano. Our Head Accreditation Center, Dr. Ruel C. Advencola. Our Director, Gender and Development, Dr. Fatima Socorro M. Cianzon. Our Director, Income Generating Projects, Dr. Hermenegildo S. Bajon. Our Manager, Printing Press, Professor Timoleon S. Lianza. Our Director, University Multimedia and Development Center, Dr. Maria Jani C. Advencola. Our Head University Events Management, Mr. Jerry E. Morris. The Office of the Vice President for Academic Affairs. Our very own Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Lydia M. Morante. Our Dean Graduate School, Dr. Annalyn C. Españo. Our Director, Student Affairs and Service Office, Dr. Carmelito Numer S. Abolencia. Our Head Student Affairs Office, Dr. Rodel V. Ponferrada. Our Head Guidance Services Office, Dr. Michelle B. Balihon. Our Head Student Publication Office, Mr. Rex B. Palumpon. Our University Dental Officer, Dr. Joel Torres. Our University Medical Officer, Dr. Maria Salod N. Roselio. Our Scholarship Officer, Professor Darwin G. Navarrosa. Our Director, Sports Development Office, Professor Joel A. Alfarero. Our Head Sports Development, Dr. Sinin Jude Javier A. Ruetas. Our Director, Culture and the Arts, Dr. Reginaldo T. Gozo. Our Head Cultural Affairs, Professor Jerry E. Mores. Our University Registrar, Mrs. Judith P. Campo. Our University Librarian, Mrs. Arlinda G. Ailes. Our Director, National Service Training Program, Dr. Marlon E. Lora. Our Head Civic Welfare Training Service, Professor Eduardo V. Cabuyao. Our Head Military Training Service, or Reserve Officer Training Corps Unit, Professor Jerry E. Ochea. Our Director, Burawin Campus, Dr. Eduardo A. Bagas. Our Director, Carigara Campus, Dr. Ronald B. Madera. Our Director, Ormoc Campus, Dr. Jerry B. D. Cadiz. Our Director, Tanawan Campus, Dr. Annabel B. Pilapil. Our Oversight Director, Dulag Extension Campus, Dr. Grace N. Camasin. Our Director, Curriculum and Instruction, Dr. Glenda B. Tupaz. Our Head Curriculum and Development, Professor Diane D. Remo. Our Head Instructional Materials Development Office, Dr. Maria Celeste F. Ripalda. Our SUC Leveling Officers, Professor Ruel C. Advencola and Professor Rosalita M. Dula. The Office of the Vice President for Research and Development and Extension Services. Our very own Vice President for Research and Development and Extension Services, Dr. Benedicto T. Militante Jr. Our OIC Director, Research and Development Office, Dr. Pearl Aphrodite B. Carnes. Our Head Intellectual Property Rights Office or Innovation and Technology Support, Dr. Maria Windes C. Velarde. Our Director, Eastern Visayas Food Innovation Center, Dr. Hilaria L. Bustamante. Our Head, EVFIC Technology Licensing Unit and Product Promotions Office, Ms. Jenelo G. Cortez. Our EVFIC Operations Manager, Mr. Mark Rimbert Patindol. Our Director, Learning Institute for Environment with Save the Children International and DILG, Professor Josephine Ibalyarosa. Our Director, Extension Services, Dr. Jovito B. Madeja. Our Manager, Disaster Risk Reduction Management Laboratory, concurrent Head of DRR, CCA and Community Relations Office, Professor Maria Elvira A. Marteja. The Office of the Vice President for Administration and Finance. Our very own Vice President for Administration and Finance, Dr. Felix Berto E. Avestros. Our Director of the Administrative Services, concurrent Director for Data Privacy and Protection Office, Dr. Doris Ann F. Espina. Our OIC Head, Human Resource Management and Development, Mrs. Ederlyn C. Dagami. Our Head Records Management Office, Mrs. Paz Belen S. Diaz. Our OIC Head Property Management Office, Mr. Aris P. Martiolo. Our Head Procurement Office, Ms. Martina Rosales. Our Head BAC Secretariat, Ms. Silene Cuena Pilen. Our Head Safety and Security Office, Professor Jerry E. Ochea. Our OIC Head Physical Infrastructure, Maintenance and Engineering Services Office, Engineer Richie G. Ibanez. Our Head Water System Maintenance Office, Engineer Chuderico M. Orgel Jr. Our Head Electrical Maintenance Office, Mr. Nolly G. Pinoso. Our Head Grounds and Physical Facilities Maintenance Office, Professor Jose Ivan J. Daga. Our Director of Financial Services, Mrs. Marlene Yu Lin. Our Head Budget Office, Mrs. Celedonia G. Cabillan. Our OIC Head Cashiering Office, Mrs. Amelia E. Sabirio. Our University Accountant, Ms. Ruby Mancho. The Office of the Vice President for Internationalization and External Affairs. Our very own Vice President for Internalization and External Affairs, Dr. Danilo B. Polma. Our Director, Information and Communications Technology, Dr. Danilo B. Polma. Our Head Management Information Services Office, Mr. Jude Allen A. Ormineta, our Head Multimedia and Electronic Information Resource Unit, Mr. Raymond M. Dailo, our Head Systems Development Office, Mr. Bianmar S. Ogrimen, our Head Information Technology Training and Development Center, Mr. Giovanni N. De Los Santos, our Director Alumni Affairs, Dr. Sonia T. Enrile, our Director External Affairs, Dr. Felix Dexter O. Parion, our Director Internalization for Higher Education, Professor Faustito A. Aure, our Head Media Affairs, Dr. Lydia N. Morante.
The Eastern Visayas State University vision is to be a leading state university in technological and professional education. And its mission is to develop a strong technologically and professionally competent productive human resource imbued with positive values needed to propel sustainable development. And the Eastern Visayas State University core values comes from the acronym of the university name itself: E for excellence, V for value-laden, S for service-driven, and U for unity and diversity.
The Bachelor of Science in Office Administration (BSOA) is a 4-year degree program designed to provide students with the knowledge and skills in business administration and office forms needed in a variety of work environments, including common commerce workplace, lawful or restorative offices. Office administration educational programs enable students to investigate the concepts and forms that lead to the best quality office director and the achievement of individual and organizational success. The primary goals of the office administration educational programs are to provide an adequate introduction to the elements of the business world through scholarly information closely facilitated with the business community, to provide a common foundation of information and understanding concerning contemporary trade through a center program comprising common instruction and proficient office administration, and to provide appropriate inspiration for professional development. Keyboarding and document production. Keyboarding is the process through which information is keyed into the computer, or an act of placing information into various types of equipment that feeds data into the computer. Letters, reports, memos, and various documents generated in schools, organizations, and offices are all done through keyboarding. Keyboarding improves accuracy and can help with decoding and sight reading skills. It improves technical skills that becomes a necessary skill for education, and most careers also. It helps with letter recognition, hand-eye coordination, and motor skills. Keyboarding makes the production of documents easier than the use of pen and paper. By that, it would increase individual productivity. The document production involves writing, verifying, and reviewing the document. It is expected that the students will be able to learn some types of letter, such as formal and informal letters, and it will continue until a high-quality document is produced. The level of quality that is acceptable depends on the type and complexity of the document. Document production is also focusing on modern production of document and as well as storing the said documents. Currently, the production of documents can be produced in one sitting and is more efficient because of the help of modernization, which made us discovers the internet and other various software.
Here are the list of the importance of keyboarding and document processing. First, it will help us to be literate in using computers or any kinds of gadgets. Next is to teach us on how to properly use and master the parts of the computers or the inside of that technology. It also helps us to acquire technical skills that can make us use computer more effectively and efficiently. It has an impact on a person's ability to communicate and work with others in the future that is necessary both in social and professional purposes. Next is, it is very significant in increasing the speed and accuracy using keyboarding skills and document processing, especially for office administration students. In the keyboarding portion, you will gain mastery of the computer keyboard, learn proper keyboarding techniques and key letters, learn how to properly make memos, tables, reports, and business forms. It also helps us learn to produce some symbols that requires pressing and holding several keys simultaneously, and this process can produce some actions or execute computer commands as well. It helps us acquire a good written skills that can be very useful inside and outside the organization in order to have a harmonious relationship with the others. It improves accuracy and can help people with decoding and sight reading skills for children and adults who struggle with specific learning difficulties. It helps us use our time effectively and learn to focus on the task given. It can be an advantage to others and it is essential for the development of other skills. It also helps us interpret the proofreader's marks properly. And lastly, it develops the ability to proofread and edit documents, apply proper formatting procedures, and accurate key business reports. So here are the solicited information about keyboarding and document production. In keyboarding, according to College, Trades, and University Great Plains College, keyboarding and document processing is about the gains mastery of the computer keyboard, learns proper keyboarding techniques and key letters, memos, tables, report, and business forms. Increasing emphasis is placed on developing speed and accuracy. This apply proper formatting procedures and accurately key business and personal letters, tables, memos, bound and unbound reports, and bibliographies. Demonstrate the ability to proof and edit all documents for proper hyphenation, capitalization, spelling, word usage, and punctuation, and interpret proofreader's marks properly using word processing software rough draft copy. According to Office of Education North American Division of Seventh-day Adventists in the year 2020, keyboarding is the act of inputting information that utilizes certain techniques such as correct fingering or correct placement, eyes on copy and proper posture, and with acceptable speed and accuracy. Keyboarding is typing or encoding on a computer using the keyboard but with proper placing of fingers. The course Basic Keyboarding Skills is for anyone who wants to learn how to use a computer keyboard with a touch keyboard. This is a primer on how to use a computer keyboard. When it comes to creating a final copy, the emphasis is on good keyboarding techniques, speed, and accuracy. As for document production is the process of creating documents like letters or any document that you can create on a computer using other software applications. In response to a request for documents, such as a subpoena or a request for production, the act of delivering or making documents available for inspection is known as document productions. A request for documents may necessitate the supply of both paper documents and information that is stored online. According to the book created by the North American Division of Seventh-day Adventists in the year 2000, document production is the application of basic keyboarding skills to generate pivotal business documents such as letter reports and tables. According to the professors at Jugaba National High School, keyboarding is the activity of typing information into a computer, while document production is the process of delivering or making available for review documents in response to a request for documents. Thus, the course Keyboarding and Document Production is simply a combined course in which you will gain mastery of the computer keyboard, learn proper keyboarding techniques and key letters, memos, tables, reports, and business form. Keyboarding and document production are computer-based systems just to generate and store information for all the legal and whatever purposes. In this manner, the information was very much accessible and has a fast track of information as well as dissemination. So for overall concept or overall summary of what is keyboarding and document production, keyboarding is to enter data or text by means of a keyboard, while document production is to producing an original or official paper relied on a basis or proof in support of something.
The ideal typing posture according to experts. According to Cornwall University and the University of British Columbia, the ideal typing posture is such that the keyboard is below your elbow height when seated, with your wrists straight and not planted on the surface of the desk. Here are the key steps to achieve the most ergonomic and comfortable typing position. 1. Place keyboard just below elbow level. 2. Elbows should be in an open angle, 90 to 110 degrees. This relaxes your forearms and shoulders. 3. Keyboard should be flat on the desk or sloping gently away from you, or the negative tilt. 4. A keyboard tray or ergonomic keyboard can be used to achieve a negative tilt in your keyboard. 5. Keep your wrist straight, neither flex upwards or downwards. 6. Resist resting your wrist on the desk, which puts pressure on your tendons and cuts off blood circulation. 7. Keep both feet flat on the floor. Use a footstool if needed. 8. If you use a wrist pad, push it flush against the keyboard and only use it to support your palms, not wrists when resting. Most conventional keyboards come with legs at the back and prop up the keyboard, creating a positive tilt. While this makes the back keys easier to access, ergonomically it is detrimental, causing your wrist to assume an upward flex posture at all times. The only time a positive tilt is innocuous is when the backrest of your seat is reclined significantly. In an upright or slightly reclined sitting position, a flat or negatively tilted keyboard is more ergonomically sound. Like every device, a keyboard also has a proper technique that allows the user to use it the best way, offering the most productivity and causing the least amount of strain. This particular way or technique of using a keyboard is known as proper keyboard finger positioning. Many people worldwide are unfamiliar with this concept and they believe that any stress or strain that they get from a keyboard is natural. However, that's not the case. If a proper finger position were to be adopted, there would be no strain on the muscles or wrists of the user. If more keyboard users adopt the proper keyboard finger position, device-induced problems wouldn't exist. So, you need to remember that you need to try this position out and see the difference. You'll surely be stunned by them. The home row. The home row is the set of keys that are the base position for fingers. These are the keys located on the middle row of the keyboard. The home row keys on the keyboard are A, S, D, and F on the left, and J, K, L, and the semicolon on the right. Always try to return your fingers to the base position when you are not typing. Keyboards usually have small bumps on the F and J keys. They help the users locate the base position without having to look. Place the index fingers over the F and J key. Finger names: thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, or the pinky. Touch typing rules. color-coded chart. Always position your fingers properly on the keyboard to press the right keys when typing. The color-coded chart below shows which finger should press each key. Correct finger placement. Press all Section A keys with the left little finger. Press all Section B keys with the left ring finger. Press all Section C keys with the left middle finger. Press all Section D keys with the left index finger. Press all Section E with either thumb. Press all Section F keys with the right index finger. Press all Section G keys with the right middle finger. Press all Section H keys with the right ring finger. And press all Section I with the right little finger. Home row image description. The base position keys for the left hand are little finger for A key, ring finger for S key, middle finger for D key, and index finger for F key. The base position keys for the right hand are index finger for J key, middle finger for K key, ring finger for L key, and little finger for semicolon key. Labeled keyboard image description. A standard keyboard with the keys grouped into sections labeled A to I from left to right. Each section corresponds to a finger that would press the keys in that section. Section A keys are pressed by the left little finger. The keys include the back code, tab, caps locks, shift, control, the number 1, letters Q, A, and Z, and out. Section B keys are pressed by the left ring finger. The keys include the number 2 and letters W, S, and X. Section C keys are pressed by the left middle finger. The keys include the number 3 and letters E, D, and C. Section D keys are pressed by the left index finger. The keys include numbers 4 and 5 and letters R, T, F, G, V, and P. Section E key is the space bar. The space bar can be pressed by a thumb on either hand. Section F keys are pressed by the right index finger. These keys include numbers 6 and 7 and the letters Y, U, H, J, N, and M. Section G keys are pressed by the right middle finger. These keys include the number 8 and the letters I and K and the comma. Section H keys are pressed by the right ring finger. These keys include the number 9 and the letters O and L and the period. Section I keys are pressed by the right little finger. This includes the rest of the keys on the right side of the keyboard, including the number 0, the hyphen, the equal sign, the delete key, the letter P, the open bracket, the close bracket, the backslash, the semicolon, the apostrophe, the enter key, the forward slash, the shift key, the alt key, and finally, the control key.
The types of business or communication letters and how to create one of it. There are various types of business letters, and each of them has a way or formats to follow. The common business letters are as follows: memos, acknowledgement letters, congratulatory letters, adjustment letters, response letters, resignation letters, letter for request, sales letters, complaint letters, thank you letters, and cover letters. In making a business letters, There are 7 parts that should be included in a letter, and these are sender's address, date, recipient's address, salutation, closing or signature, and enclosures. In addition to that, there are also 3 common formats in writing a letter, such as block, modified block, and semi-block format. Block format features all elements of the letter aligned to the left margin of the page. It has a neat and simple appearance, and paragraphs are separated by a double line space. Modified block differs from block style in that the date, sign-off, and signature lines begin at the center point of the page line. The beginning of each paragraph is indented 5 spaces along with the subject line, if used. Depending on the length of the letter, paragraphs may be separated by a single or double line space. Semi-block is similar to block, but has a more informal appearance. All elements are left aligned except for the beginning of each paragraph, which is indented 5 spaces, and here paragraphs are separated by a double line space.